We're reading from the Mueller report. This is page 140. It's about meetings between Paul Manafort and Konstantin Kilimnik, the guy with the connections to the Russian intelligence service. That plan, Manafort, they're talking about a plan to have Yanukovych, the Ukrainian president, who was ousted in 2014, come back or be rehabilitated or whatever. That plan, Manafort later acknowledged, constituted a backdoor means for Russia to control eastern Ukraine. Manafort initially said that if he had not cut off the discussion, Kilimnik would have asked Manafort in the August 2nd meeting to convince Trump to come out in favor of a peace plan. And Yanukovych would have expected Manafort to use his connections in Europe and Ukraine to support the plan. Manafort also initially told the office that he had said to Kilimnik that the plan was crazy, that the discussion ended, and that he did not recall Kilimnik asking Manafort to reconsider the plan after their August 2nd meeting. Manafort said, and the rest of that sentence is deleted by Bill Barr, that he reacted negatively to Yanukovych sending years later an urgent request when Yanukovych needed him. When confronted with an email written by Kilimnik on or about December 8, 2016, however, Manafort acknowledged Kilimnik raised the peace plan again in that email. Manafort ultimately acknowledged Kilimnik also raised the peace plan in January and February 2017 meetings with Manafort. Second, Manafort briefed Kilimnik on the state of the Trump campaign and Manafort's plan to win the election. That briefing encompassed the campaign's messaging and its internal polling data. According to Gates, it also included discussion of battleground states, which Manafort identified as Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Minnesota. Manafort did not refer explicitly to background states in his telling of the August 2nd discussion, and then the entire rest of that page 140 has been deleted by Bill Barr. On page 141 now. Third, according to Gates and what Kilimnik told Patton, Manafort and Kilimnik discussed two sets of financial disputes related to Manafort's previous work in the region. Those consisted of the unresolved Deripaska lawsuit and the funds that the opposition bloc owed to Manafort for his political consulting work and how Manafort might be able to obtain payment. After the meeting, Gates and Manafort both stated that they left separately from Kilimnik because they knew the media was tracking Manafort and wanted to avoid media reporting on his connections to Kilimnik. C. Post-resignation activities. Manafort resigned from the Trump campaign in mid-August 2016, approximately 2 weeks after his second meeting with Kilimnik, amidst negative media reporting about his political consulting work for the pro-Russian Party of Regions in Ukraine. Despite his resignation, Manafort continued to offer advice to various campaign officials through the November election. Manafort told Gates that he spoke with Kushner, Bannon, and candidate Trump, and some of those post-resignation contacts are documented in emails. For example, on October 21st, 2016, Manafort sent Kushner an email and attached a strategy memorandum proposing that the campaign make the case against Clinton, quote, as the failed and corrupt champion of the establishment, and that, quote, WikiLeaks provides the Trump campaign the ability to make this case in a very credible way by using the words of Clinton, its campaign officials, and DNC members, end quote. Later in the November 5th, 2016 email to Kushner titled Securing the Victory, Manafort stated that he was, quote, really feeling good about our prospects on Tuesday and focusing on preserving the victory, end quote, and that he was concerned that the Clinton campaign would respond to a loss by, quote, moving immediately to discredit the Trump victory and claim voter fraud and cyber fraud, including the claim that the Russians have hacked into the voting machines and tampered with the results. Oh, that's so weird that they were expecting Democrats to respond this way. It's, of course, the way Republicans would have responded, and the Democrats didn't. They should have. Anyhow, back to the report. Trump was elected president on November 8th, 2016. Manafort told the office, Mueller's office, that in the wake of Trump's victory, he was not interested in an administration job. Manafort instead preferred to stay on the outside and monetize his campaign position to generate business, given his familiarity and relationship with Trump and the incoming administration. Manafort appeared to follow that plan as he traveled to the Middle East, Cuba, South Korea, Japan, and China, and was paid to explain what a Trump presidency would entail. Manafort's activities in early 2017 included meetings relating to Ukraine and Russia. The first meeting, which took place in Madrid, Spain, in January 2017, was with Georgy Oganov. Oganov, who had previously worked at the Russian embassy in the United States, was a senior executive at a Deripaska company and was believed to report directly to Deripaska being the oligarch who is building a steel and aluminum factory in Kentucky to help out Mitch McConnell right now for the campaign. Manafort initially denied attending the meeting. When he later acknowledged it, he claimed that the meeting had been arranged by his lawyers and concerned only the Pericles lawsuit. Other evidence, however, provides reason to doubt Manafort's statement that the sole topic of the meeting was the Pericles lawsuit. Keep in mind, Manafort repeatedly lied to Mueller and to the grand jury, which is why he's in jail. In particular, text messages to Manafort from a number associated with Kilimnik suggest that Kilimnik and Boyarkin, not Manafort's counsel, had arranged the meeting between Manafort and Oganov. Kilimnik's message states that the meeting was supposed to be, quote, not about money or Pericles. And it continues there. It's the Mueller report, page 142.